Hey everybody, it's Carl Brown from Pt.4.365.com. Today we're going to take a look at the solo for the Love of God by Steve I. Now we have obviously kicked it up a notch here for the solo. There's a lot of pretty intense scale work, legato work, whammy work, or whatever. So I'm going to work you through it though, so hopefully it won't be too hard to understand. We're going to first start with a slow melody that opens with this. Alright, so that's a whole step bend at the 17th fret. Pick it a couple times, then do another bend there. Pick and release. Then you're going to bend from the 19th fret, step and a half. So when you release, then pick 17, slide down to 15, and pick 15. Alright, the next phrase goes like this. Alright, so what's going on there? We have so let's pick the 15. Let's come over to the 15 on the B string. Then pick 15 again on the B and do a quick hammer on to the 20th fret on the B. And pick 19. Now we're going to start adding some vibrato from the bar, very slight. Then 19, 17, slide down to 15 and pick it back again. Slide back up to 17. So that was sliding down from 15 to 12. A slight bar dive. And let it come back up to pitch and then hammer on to the 15th fret. Then so that is slide now from 12 down to 10. Slide and then you do a bar dip to a whole step below. Then release the bar. Slide up back up to 12. Hammer back onto the 15th fret. Then pick 12, 14 on the high E string. Pick 15, slide to 17. Pick 17, slide to 19. Then pick 19, slide to 22. And pick 22 again. Alright, now I have some more whammy stuff coming. Alright, so kind of a signature Steve I thing here. We start out with the bend at the 17th fret again on the high E string. Release, pull off to 15. Pick 17 again. Pull off to 15. And then hammer on. Because you're going to be doing the whammy, you can't really pick it on the 17th fret on the B string. That's pulling off to 15 and hammering back on to 17 there a couple times. There we go. So the notes he's doing 15, 17, 15, 16, 14, 12 on the G string there. And when he starts getting into this part of it, he's doing flutters really, which is instead of just rocking the bar back, he's actually just hitting. He just basically smacked the bar with it. All right, it's kind of an out of control effect, but and obviously he's just hammering on all the notes down here along with to time in correctly with the bar. So we got. Then he keeps going in between the pitches, and so he's just going 14, 12, 14, 12, like 3 times. And then it goes 14, 12, 14, 16. Alright, so alright. Then we have the tremolo pick part. Now, that's just now, you know, there's a set, you know, just definite pace that he's doing that. So before we start working on that, let's just get the notes down. 12, 14 on the G. 12, 15 on the B. 12, 14, 15 on the high E. Then up to the 17th. Then 19. 22. 24, and then we're gonna whole step bend at the 24th fret. Sorry, a little out of tune. Just change that high E string, so it's going out of tune on me a little bit. So we have. All right, so just work on this consistent, just between 2 notes. Alright, so now we get to this fast flurry of notes, which is, it's really hard to create just like the album. I mean, it's not really a recreatable part when it comes to even Steve Vai or anything. It's something that you basically have a pattern of notes that you play, and you just go for it. You just start ripping it, and that's what he does. And every time it's going to come out slightly different, but we can still get the overall effect of it, you know, just as long as you have these notes in your hand. So it's pretty simple to understand, actually. We have the top, you know, notes here. If you want to, quickly, I'll play the part. Alright, so obviously a little bit insane there, especially at the end. So we have just the notes that we're talking about here. Oh, we have 15, 19 on the B string. Now he uses these fingers. You can use your pinky if you can't really do that stretch. 15, 19, and then 14, 19 on the high E string. So a pattern that you can kind of do is it's just kind of a hammer on pull off between on the high E string. Then 19 on the B to 14 on the high E. See, they're the same note. Then pull off 19, 15, then back to 19 on the B. So we now a couple of times in this while he's repeating this little shape. He'll come down and with his second finger grab the 18th fret on the G string. Alright, so it's kind of that. And then over the next chord, he kind of continues the same thing, but now it's 13, 17 on the B string, then 13, 19, big stretch there, on the high E. Now once again, he also comes down every couple of times and grabs the 16th fret on the G string with his second finger. So if you want to just go straight up, you can mix up with just going hammering all the way up, pulling off all the way down, and then maybe with that pattern that we did earlier too, and just mix up the two kind of randomly to create that effect. And every once in a while coming down to that 16th fret on the G string. Alright, then let's take the same idea up to the 17th fret here, and then we have pulling off from the 22nd fret to the 17th fret, and then pulling off from the 20th fret to the 17th fret on the B string. So we have those notes. Alright, so what he does now, he actually changes the top note every time. So he goes, instead of playing the second time around, instead of playing the 22nd fret, play the 19th fret with your second finger. Alright, so we do that 3 times, going back and forth between 22 and 19. By the way, he is rocking a wah pedal the entire time, which really helps accentuate some of these notes. I don't have a wah pedal here, and it's actually better to hear the notes if you don't have it on. But that you're going to hear a lot of these parts in the solo where he's got that the tone sound seems to be changing, and that's what he did. He's just accentuating the notes with a wah. So be sure you have one of those if you want to recreate the sound of the song exactly. So we have. Alright, so after those 3 times, then you do it one more time at the 22nd fret. And you start this descending pattern, which is just E minor pentatonic here. Alright, so the scale is going to be 1917 on the high E, 2017 on the B, 1916 on the D, the G string, 1917 on the D, and then he comes down to, he's kind of ends right there on the, you can keep going down to 17, it's 1917 there, and 1917 on the low E, but he basically stops when he gets to the 19th fret on the A string. So we have, alright, so then he comes back up with it. So that is, so once again, we kind of have some random patterns there, but you can really make it recreate the sound of it with a pattern that kind of like this. So it's just pulling off 20 to 17, then play 19 on the G, then back to that 17 on the high on the B string, then pull 19 to 16 on the G string. So that's the pattern. And you just continue that down. And you can do it back up if you want. So it's basically you're just doing notes of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Alright, so it's just. Alright, so now we get to this crazy whammy stuff, which is really hard to recreate because you can't really control the strings because you're sitting there hitting the tremolo bar. But I don't know if you notice here, we have the trim bar now. I have it backwards. I have it pointing back. So now I can do the same pull-offs we did earlier. 20 to 17. 22 to 17 on the high E. Hammer on. You just do that all with your left hand. Then hammer on 20 on the B string. Pull off the 17. Back to 20. And when you hit that 20, bend it up a whole. And then do a bar flutter by just smacking the bar backwards. Then they start coming faster. So in the left hand, he's just going. You're hammering on 17, hammering on 20 now on the B, pull off to 17, back to 20, and bend that up. That first 17 is on the high E string. And whenever you're doing that, do a bar flutter. Alright, it's kind of a crazy sound, and it's meant to sound kind of out of control. Alright, the next part we have is this. Alright, so what's that? That is this. Pick the 22nd fret, slide down to the 15th fret on the high E string, and pull off to the 12th fret. And we're just gonna pull off. You're just hammering on, and from nowhere here. You're still not really doing a lot of picking. Pull out 15 to 12 on the B, 14 to 12 on the G, and then 14, 12 on the D. Then you do a whole step bend at the 15th fret on the B string. Then we have this next phrase, which is just picking 12 on the B. Then hammering on 14, pulling off to 12 on the G. Hammering on 14, pulling off to 12 on the D. And then hammering on 14 on the A. And you pick the 12th fret on the G string. Put some vibrato on. That next phrase, you're going to pick 14th fret on the G string and quickly slide it down to the 9th fret and pull off the 7. Then hammer on 9 and pull off the 7. And then the same thing on the A string. But then slide that down to the 7 down to the 5. So over time. Alright, now we have this kind of disjointed little phrase here, which the effect of this section is really done by the wah. But we're doing the... Alright, so we're starting this with a quick hammer pull of the 12th fret to the 13th and back on the B string. And then 15, 14, 12, little E minor blues scale. Then back up to 14 and 15. This time, instead of hammering on the 13th fret, you're going to hammer on the 14th fret on the B string. It's the same lick. So do the 14th fret there a couple times. So we got the 13th first. And back to the 13th. Alright? So it's kind of a... You can use your pinky there on those notes if you don't want to use, but Steve I just uses these 3 fingers. Of course his fingers are, 10 feet long. And then we're going to add... Now he melds that in after doing that a few times. Now he ends up just on the G string, 16, 15, 14 on the G, and when you pick the 14th fret, slightly bend it up to the 15th fret. Now he's really rocking the wah pedal to accentuate that note. So you do that all the way to the final bend, which is just a whole step bend at the 15th fret. Alright, So we will continue with For the Love of God in the next lesson. All right, we're finally getting through it. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.